Okay, so let's just unpack this.
Right.
Imagine the start of summer. You've got that, that 3-month window.
Mm-hmm. The ultimate blank slate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's this period where, I don't know, if you're ambitious enough, you can get it in your head that you
Yeah.
can just completely dismantle and rebuild your entire identity.
Maybe you want to become a size 4 tennis prodigy to snag a crush.
Right. Or maybe you're aiming for like an international social title.
It's the ultimate stage for reinvention, but what happens when that intense desire for transformation isn't really driven by genuine aspiration?
You mean when it's driven by something else?
Yeah, when it's driven by insecurity or blackmail or just this desperate need to claim a social title that doesn't really fit.
And that's where things get interesting.
That's the dark side of the summer scheme. And, well, that's where our deep dive starts today.
So, today we are dissecting 2 incredibly detailed narrative sources. They track the schemes, the sacrifices of 2 young women this summer.
Our main focus is going to be on Dylan Marvil. Her story it's a monumental attempt at a physical and emotional transformation in this, hyper-elite world of Hawaiian celebrity tennis.
And then after that, we'll take a quick look at Alicia Rivera, who's aiming for social dominance over in Spain.
Yeah, and for this, we're really treating their personal struggles, their most intense internal thoughts, their schemes, their observed actions as our core data points.
Right. So our mission here is to really unpack the psychology of it all. Performance, competition, authenticity.
We're looking for that point of failure. The moment the performance becomes so costly or so transparent that the true self is it's forced to come out, for better or for worse.
And trust me, the information we're about to extract from these sources, it goes deep. This is not just about dropping 4 pounds.
Oh, no, it's about weaponizing a side brace, surviving a, frankly, highly unethical training regimen.
And the surprisingly high cost of achieving a victory you didn't even know you wanted. So let's start with Dylan Marvil, our protagonist in peril. She's traveling to the Kapalua Spa in Hawaii. But we really need to understand the immediate context of her journey. It's not just any trip.
No, not at all. She's on the Daily Grind's private jet. Her life is already completely cloaked in this supreme luxury.
And the source material really emphasizes this, doesn't it? It goes out of its way to paint this picture of opulence.
It does, and I think that's deliberate. It's meant to contrast sharply with her internal state.
So what are we talking about specifically?
Well, we're told the cabin is, papered with interlocking D's and G's.
Yeah.
The seats are butter-soft tan leather.
And she's eating a fat-free triple chocolate banana split with a silver spoon.
Oh, right. Served on fine china by a flight attendant. But in the middle of all this lavishness, what is Dylan's defining thought?
She wants to drop 4 pounds.
Exactly. The 4 pounds she gained trying to prove she wasn't a prissy, girly girl. So you have this stark contrast.
External affluence, internal insecurity.
And right away, she's pitted against an external rival, a massive celebrity in her world, Svetlana Slutskaya.
Svetlana isn't just a competitor. She's introduced as a force of nature.
Absolutely. The teen tennis phenom, the current Maxim cover girl, famous for her blonde hotness.
But the details that we really need to focus on are her moments of just high-octane rage.
Tennis the Menace. That's what they call her. This is the girl who whipped a racket at a ball girl's teeth.
And didn't she smash her ex-boyfriend in the mouth just a few days before this?
She did, with a Dunlop. Simply because he smiled and thanked a soda girl for his Pepsi. Her emotional volatility is it's legendary.
And Dylan's mother, Merri-Lee Marvil, the TV host, is in the middle of this huge professional rivalry. She's determined to land the exclusive post-rehab interview.
Yeah, and she's competing directly against giants like Barbara Walters. Svetlana is this impossible high-stakes prize.
The level of control around Svetlana is it's extraordinary.
It is. And Merri-Lee's assistant, Cassidy Wolf, compiled this whole document of every single bizarre whim.
And this list, Svetlana's list of pre-interview must-haves, is so critical, right? It shows us just how completely detached from reality she is.
Oh, absolutely. And it's fascinating because the demands aren't just about comfort.
No, it's about total environmental curation.
Exactly. We're talking spirulina detox smoothies, Toka candles, but only in lemon verbena.
And the unscented baby wipes. The source is very clear. She uses those instead of toilet paper.
And you have to stop and analyze that. I mean, what does that signal? Why baby wipes?
It's got to be control. A germophobic, hyper-curated environment.
It is. It's symptomatic of her high-pressure career. She can't tolerate common materials, common variables. And what about the tabloids?
Oh, the demand for all the current tabloids with photos of Paris Hilton removed.
That's the ultimate expression of control, isn't it? She needs her world literally physically purged of any perceived competition or distraction.
We can't forget Boris.
We can't forget Boris, the emotional support cat. A gray kitty cat with haunting blue eyes named Boris because her real Boris is trapped in quarantine in Moscow.
So all these demands, they just establish Svetlana as someone who is operating on a completely different plane of reality.
Yes, where eccentricity isn't just tolerated, it's required. And that sets the stage for Dylan to believe that to succeed, she also has to become hyper-controlled and, utterly performative.
Okay, so into this rarefied atmosphere of celebrity competition, Dylan runs headfirst into the catalyst for her whole transformation.
J.T. Daly?
John Thomas Daly, the resort owner's son, or as Dylan internally nicknames him.
The heart. Hot alpha rich and toned.
And this is where the emotional gravity it shifts instantly.
It really does. Dylan walks into this high-end boutique, reluctantly trying on the mandated tennis whites.
And she's just set this strict rule for herself.
Right. No more crushing on boys who didn't crush back. But the second she sees JT, what happens?
She throws the rule right out the window. She is, and I quote, fully prepared to obsess over him.
So we need to analyze JT. Why is he the heart? What does he embody?
Well, he's this clean-cut, affluent, active masculinity that's just, it's packaged perfectly for this resort setting.
But there's an immediate red flag, isn't there? One that Dylan completely ignores.
A huge one. His singular, all-consuming obsession with tennis.
He doesn't just like tennis. He is tennis. He's talking about different surfaces, grass, clay, hard, their personality traits.
He's bragging about his friends spraining a finger trying to return his lob.
And he clearly despises girls who are more into shopping. He practically spits the word out. He demands total conformity to the tennis aesthetic.
And this is where the transformation kicks off.
Yeah.
With just a brutal miscommunication.
Dylan's been forced into this white tennis outfit because, everyone here wears tennis whites. It's tradition.
So she swings open the dressing room door to show her mom the Svetlana for Nike outfit.
And JT sees it and says one word, hot. But then he clarifies. He starts talking about the technical fabric, how it wicks sweat away before it even leaves your pores.
And Dylan is ecstatic for a second, until she realizes the terrifying truth moments later when Svetlana herself walks in.
He wasn't complimenting her.
No. He was complimenting the engineering of the garment, which was literally designed for her intimidatingly pretty international star rival.
So in Dylan's insecure mind, the path to the heart's affection is suddenly crystal clear.
She can't just wear the uniform. She has to become the athlete.
And she lies immediately, claims she totally hearts tennis, and has already worn my other ones out just to justify buying the outfit.
The performance has begun.
And the entire premise is sacrificing her fundamental identity, the girl who likes gossip and butterscotch sundaes, to fit his hyper-specific, very narrow criteria.
Which sets up the stakes for the next part. How she gets the leverage she needs to force this transformation into reality.
Which all happens during that pivotal interview.
Right. So Merri-Lee is interviewing Svetlana in this cliffside pagoda, and Svetlana is delivering this masterful performance of fragility.
Oh, it's incredible. She claims the ball girl incident was because she lost everything I had worked for. She attributes her recovery to therapy, meditation, finding the real me.
Merri-Lee is an expert here, too. She uses strategic silence.
A technique the source notes makes subjects so nervous and uncomfortable that they end up revealing more than they planned.
But Svetlana sticks to her PR narrative, right? She gets through it, even gets the Nike plug-in at the end.
She does. But the critical analysis here is what happens the second that camera cuts.
The camera cuts, and that fragility just evaporates.
Instantly. Dylan approaches Svetlana just to compliment her hair.
And the response is, it's pure malice.
Svetlana grabs Dylan's wrist, twists it down so violently that the pain was so severe Dylan dropped her phone and yelped.
She calls her a loser fan stalker, questions if her teeth are real.
And then headbutts her, causing that internal landline ringing inside Dylan's brain. The whole Zen performance is just obliterated.
But this is where Dylan's true, untapped strategic intelligence finally emerges.
Right before the phone was knocked out of her hand,
she hit record.
It's a fantastic moment of strategic defiance. This is the LG chocolate phone, the limited edition Oscar swag bag prize that stores hours of video.
And the audio she captures is just damning. Svetlana's post-interview outburst. Why do you think you're worthy to touch Svetlana? You are just loser fan, too sloppy to be an athlete.
This is the data. This is the leverage Dylan needs to control the entire situation.
And Dylan, showing immense nerve, confronts her in the meditation room.
Plays the audio, threatens to send the clip to the Daily Grind, or even more effectively,
Nike, noting the only thing Svetlana will be endorsing after this is kitty litter.
Svetlana is completely cornered. She's throwing votive candles against the pink travertine walls in this spectacular display of thwarted alpha power.
But she agrees to the deal.
She has to. She will teach Dylan everything you know about tennis until JT crushes back.
And Dylan's justification is actually pretty insightful. She says, "You've given up your entire life for a sport. How is that any less pathetic?"
The transformation is now a blackmailed necessity. Dylan has weaponized her opponent's secret instability.
So now we enter phase 2. And this is where we really need to spend some time analyzing the true cost of this performance.
Right, because the agreement dictates the adoption of the Svetlana way.
Which is not just training.
Yeah.
It's an abusive, high-control regime designed for a superhuman athlete.
Not for a casual teen trying to impress a crush.
Exactly. Dylan is trying to externally manufacture an identity, and the first steps are purely cosmetic.
4 grueling humid hours with Svetlana's stylist, Ingrid, getting extensions and perma-straightening.
All to achieve that 12-inch serpentine side braid. She's hoping JT will see her as the Little Mermaid, a symbol of transformation.
And the fashion component is just as crucial. The designer, Winsome the Munchkin, who isn't wearing white, is tasked with creating this whole new identity.
But Dylan demands color. Ella Moss meets Puma with vertical stripes. She wants to be athletic, but she's still thinking in terms of high fashion.
Oh yeah. Lavender heart-covered platform sneakers named 40 Love. A ruby red Swarovski tennis racket.
It's a fundamental conflict, isn't it? She wants the social power of the athlete without sacrificing the aesthetics of the fashion alpha.
But the real pain? The real pain starts at 4 a.m.
And this is where the analysis of this high-performance culture really begins. The training regime is just a catalog of physical and psychological torment.
It starts with a 5-mile run.
With a pebble in the shoe.
The pebble.
Yeah.
That one detail encapsulates the entire methodology. You intentionally introduce discomfort to break down mental barriers.
And that's immediately followed by 20 push-ups, with Svetlana sitting on Dylan's back.
Which causes Dylan's previously injured shoulder to feel, quote, suicidal. Then it's 1,000 crunches. This is an exercise.
It's punishment.
Then they move to the gear. Svetlana thrusts these white patent leather stilettos onto Dylan's swollen feet.
For high-heel sprints, she claims they'll teach her how to stay on her toes.
And the justifications are incredible. She cites Marion Bartoli's father taping balls to her feet and the Pussycat dolls running on a treadmill in 4-inch clogs.
So this raises a big question. Is Svetlana just being abusive, or is she imparting the only training methodology she's ever known?
I think it's both.
Right.
I mean, she's abusive because she clearly enjoys the control, but the methodology itself is standard operating procedure for a child prodigy raised in an emotionally harsh environment.
And we see the culmination of this punishment in the rainbow ball drill.
Oh, that drill. Svetlana just pelts Dylan with multicolored balls until she collapses on the clay.
Dry heaving and puking. Illegal oatmeal chocolate chip cookie crumbs all over Svetlana's pristine Nikes.
Think about that imagery. Dylan, the girl who craves butterscotch sundaes and gossip, is literally puking up her true identity onto the pristine white surface of performance.
But what's so fascinating is that even during this torture, these little moments of human connection emerge.
They do. They provide context for Svetlana's monstrous nature, like when she catches Dylan trying to sneak a banana split.
And instead of rage, she offers this painful revelation about her past.
She describes being pulled off a cot at 4 a.m. in the bitter Russian cold, the blood from her knuckles freezing from hitting the wall because the court had no room behind the baseline.
11 years of her life defined by a rigid diet of hard-boiled eggs and bread.
And the detail that humanizes her the most, for me, is when she admits she was once pudgy.
Dal Svetlana could pinch an inch.
Yes. And that admission allows Dylan to relate. She realizes that without her social safety net, without her friends, she might have become this raging tennis beast too.
The source really suggests that this level of achievement requires sacrificing your entire human experience.
And that leads us to the final and most critical psychological element of the whole blackmail agreement.
No compliments ever.
This is so much more than a rule. It's a deep-seated vulnerability.
A weak.
A huge weakness. Svetlana explains that the reason she lost Wimbledon, the moment that led to her first explosive incident, was because some random fan yelled, "Svetlana, you rock."
And she lost concentration.
Totally. Compliments to Svetlana are not validation. They are a curse. They're a form of psychological sabotage that destroys the focus required for ultimate performance.
They remind her that she's being seen as a person, not a machine.
Exactly. And the stage is now set for the inevitable failure.
So Dylan attempts to test the crush. She goes to the Brady Erickson match with JT.
And she's trying so desperately to maintain this tennis facade. She even wears a belted t-shirt slouch dress in bright ivory to compromise on the all-white theme JT loves.
But the act is just... it's exhausting for her. She calls a backhand a backhandler.
And JT immediately corrects her, so she has to improvise this story about a nickname from the Westchester Tennis Club.
She tries to flirt. "Is that Dior home?" And he just speed whispers back, "No, pomegranate protein smoothie." He's still completely fixed on the match.
His fixation is absolute, and the tension just peaks when Svetlana arrives.
Having strategically ditched her severe braid for flowing waves.
And JT just exhales longingly, leaving a steam cloud of desire on the glass.
Dylan knows, right then, she's losing ground, which forces her to insist that JT watch her fake match against Svetlana. She has to prove she's a tennis goddess.
So they stage this faux match on court 1, and Dylan, she's fueled by adrenaline. She feels like she's in the zone.
Hitting backhands and forehands, even doing a faux grunt that she thinks communicates, "I'm powerful and adorable."
And Svetlana is playing the convincing pretend loser, making sure balls fly just out of her reach, delivering these frustrated grunts. Dylan feels totally confident in the charade.
But that confidence is a trap.
A huge trap. After the first set, JT shoots Dylan the double thumbs up, but then Svetlana suddenly ramps up the game. She starts hitting with real vengeance.
And Dylan realizes something was off.
This is it, the moment of ultimate betrayal. Dylan goes for her glittering silver bag to get her phone and confirm the deal is still in place.
But JT's already holding it, and he's giving her this adorably charming smile.
The files are gone.
JT erased them. He chose the untouchable star over the girl who was trying to change for him.
And then Svetlana walks over to deliver the ultimate calculated humiliation.
"You didn't believe cute boy crush would choose size 6 pimple loser fan over me, did you?"
It was a coordinated scheme. JT wasn't some noble victim of blackmail. He was an accomplice, protecting the star he admired.
Svetlana serves the final 6-arrow score, the bagel. And she tells Dylan that the loser stays at love.
Dylan realizes she was duped, lied to, humiliated by the very boy she sacrificed her entire identity for.
She whips her LG phone onto the court, watches it shatter. She's just utterly defeated and tired of being strong.
And this humiliation pushes Dylan into this deep slump, like a 19-hour Motrin-fueled nap, just wallowing in the depression of paradise.
She's even considering radical cosmetic surgery.
But the wallowing ends when she learns 2 key things. First, the other resort guests are disgusted by Svetlana's previous performance. They're calling her Splenda, not Svetlana.
And second,
The ball girls are on strike with the Russian flu.
and this is where it gets really interesting, Dylan realizes something. She doesn't need to be an athlete to win.
She needs to be a strategist.
She knows Svetlana's secret, her psychological Achilles heel.
Which brings us to the final triumphant phase, revenge and vindication through strategic authenticity.
Dylan, fueled now by pure rage, volunteers to be the only ball girl for the women's final.
And she wears one of Winsome's drop-waist skirts with hand-embroidered hearts, a symbolic reclamation of her true, non-athletic, girly identity.
She realizes she can weaponize the compliment curse the moment Svetlana approaches the baseline.
The psychological warfare is instantaneous. Dylan skips past Svetlana and just whispers, "You're on fire."
And Svetlana is immediately thrown off her game. She starts running in place, which the source tells us is a clear sign of psychological distress, according to the Svetlana way.
Dylan doubles down, throws a thumbs up. "Doing great, Svet."
The next serve goes straight out of the stadium. We hear a car alarm in the distance.
She just keeps going, "You rock, Svetlana. Great form." And Svetlana, unable to tolerate this forced awareness of herself as a person, completely collapses.
Misses 3 service points, throws her racket, and starts grabbing balls to pelt Dylan.
But Dylan, using the evasive skill she honed during that brutal rainbow ball drill, dodges the attack.
And she turns the whole confrontation into this public, viral spectacle that has the entire crowd cheering. The cameras immediately turn to the drama.
JT intervenes, but his motivation provides the definitive closure for Dylan. He pleads, The match. You're gonna blow it.
He only cares about the integrity of the game he worships, confirming he really was just a tennis stalker, not a potential boyfriend.
And then we get the defining moment of physical and emotional retribution.
Svetlana swings her racket around and smashes JT right in the face.
A glorious bloody nose, adding a much-needed splash of color to his boring white outfit.
As security drags the hysterical Svetlana off the court, she throws one last ball at Dylan's head.
And Dylan instinctively catches the ball with her bare hand. It's a stunning, powerful reaction. The source describes it as being high-fived by a burning whip.
The crowd just erupts. They start chanting, "Ball girl, ball girl."
And Merri-Lee, ever the TV host, directs her cameras not toward the psychoathlete or the bleeding rich boy, but toward her own daughter.
And Dylan realizes the cheering is for her, the resilient, strategic girl who stood up for herself and disrupted the whole system, not for the size 4 clone she was pretending to be.
And Merri-Lee's proud smile is the moment fit for a Dove commercial.
And then the true connection appears, and it completely redefines her romantic criteria.
Brady Erickson, the men's champion, giving an interview nearby.
And Brady is the ultimate contrast to the heart. He's described as modest, he loves eating, laughing, and rock climbing.
And he says he wants a butterscotch sundae, which he licks off his cherry red lips. He admits he was just lucky to win.
His publicist is glaring at him when he says tennis was not a contact sport while talking about Svetlana's banning.
And Dylan, who's no longer obsessed with packaging or performance, she recognizes his genuine, non-obsessive personality.
He extends his hand toward her and asks her out. He calls her the real star of the Aloha Open.
It's the ultimate vindication. She found a compatible, genuine crush after she embraced her authenticity.
But her final move is purely strategic.
She signs Svetlana's confidentiality agreement.
It's a complex transactional moment, isn't it? The agreement says Svetlana will return to the sport with a new identity. Ilana Bravia Slutskia, with brown hair, much patience, and kindness.
A completely manufactured clean slate. And in exchange, Dylan gets 10 years of free merchandise.
And most importantly, American Boris.
She walks away with everything she actually wanted. A genuine connection, the spotlight, and a kitten. Achieved not through lying or conformity, but through her own strategic defiance.
But before we draw our final conclusions on Dylan, let's just quickly look at Alicia Rivera's summer scheme, just to see how her transformation crashes and burns even faster.
So we shift from the Hawaiian tennis elite to the world of high-stakes social dominance in Barcelona.
And it's a perfect comparative case study. Dylan pursued physical transformation. Alicia is pursuing social transformation.
Right. So Alicia Rivera arrives at the Barcelona International Airport, or Barcelona, as she hears it pronounced, and she is excited for a parent-free summer. She sees it as a clean slate.
Her goal isn't just a crush. It's to achieve Spalfa status Spanish Alpha, so she can dominate her world back in Westchester when she returns.
And she sees an immediate opportunity, a huge poster for the Euro pop star eye.
Which has a graphic novel font, and it's hard to read.
The poster is seeking a verdadera belleza española, a true Spanish beauty, for his new music video.
And Alicia sees this as her ticket to international stardom and permanent alpha status.
And she feels qualified. I mean, because of her half-Spanish heritage and her rigorous Westchester dance training at the prestigious Body Alive dance studios.
She's dreaming specifically of Massey Block, envying her music video debut.
But the sources make it so clear that Alicia's transformation scheme hits an immediate, unforgiving social reality the second she steps off the plane.
She runs straight into her cousins, Celia and Isabel Callas,
who are described as gorgeous ×2, leggy socialites. They're already established, doing donuts in a luggage cart, cackling with their driver.
They are the established alpha order she's trying to usurp.
And the judgment is instant. They're also auditioning, and they immediately just dismiss Alicia's hopes.
The identity crisis begins right there when they tell her she is not true Spanish.
And that's a profound distinction from Dylan's struggle. Dylan was struggling with a temporary role, the athlete. Alicia is struggling with her fundamental identity and her heritage.
Massey, back home, used to call her Fanish for fake Spanish. And now she's hearing the same message from her own family in Spain.
So she's forced to defensively claim, what I don't have in Spanish, I make up for in beauty. The performance is already failing because her very heritage is being denied.
And the situation just deteriorates rapidly when they're joined by Nina.
Their 13-year-old sister, the SLBR Spanish loser beyond repair, who has a history of a rob hobby.
Nina embodies the threat of social contamination. She's still tall and thin, but as his terrible bull bob hair don't, and is immediately deemed a social disaster.
But the crucial piece of information for Alicia is Nina's revelation. They're sharing a room for the summer.
Because the guest wing is being renovated.
It's a devastating blow to Alicia's entire plan for a glamorous, controlled summer. She realizes that Nina, her graphic novel collection, and Alicia's precious American clothes will all be crammed into one small space.
And the threat to the precious American clothes, that's a threat to her identity itself. It's like the loss of Dylan's LG chocolate phone.
It is. Her wardrobe is her armor, her symbol of Westchester alpha status, and now it's compromised by the Rob Hobby SLBR.
Alicia immediately starts checking her pink crocodile-strap Gucci watch, wondering if there was time to catch the last flight back to JFK.
And this comparison is so crucial for you to see. Both Dylan and Alicia are relying on this ambitious, high-stakes, external transformation.
Athlete clone, international Spanish beauty.
But they're immediately met with these intensely judgmental social hurdles that force them to question their very identity and self-worth.
For Dylan, that failure led to strategic defiance. For Alicia, the immediate social hurdles just threatened total retreat.
So when we look back at the grand arc of Dylan Marvil, it's a masterclass in the futility of imitation.
She started the summer desperate to be a size 4 tennis-loving clone, all driven by JT's superficial criteria.
And she suffered immense physical and psychological pain during the Svetlana way.
And yet her greatest successes, the public revenge, the cheering crowd, finding a genuine crush in Brady Erickson, they only came when she completely abandoned that clone persona.
Right. She stopped trying to be the girl JT wanted, and she started being the strategic, defiant girl who understood her opponent's psychology.
She realized she didn't need physical prowess in tennis.
No, she needed effectiveness in strategy. She leveraged the knowledge she gained during her humiliation, Svetlana's psychological weakness, the compliment curse, and used it to create this public triumph where the camera turned on her.
Her realization was that the ultimate victory was rooted in strategic defiance, not conformity to the white tennis world.
And, the ultimate betrayal by JT, the boy she sacrificed her body and mental health for, was actually the most crucial turning point.
How so?
Well, think about it. If JT hadn't erased the video, if he'd played along, Dylan would have achieved a fake, unsatisfying crush through blackmail.
Right. Because the blackmail failed, she had to stand up for herself publicly.
Which is what actually earned her the genuine attention she truly craved from the crowd and from Brady Erickson.
The new landscape for Dylan is completely reset. She's the star of the Aloha Open. She's caught the eye of the championship-winning athlete Brady Erickson,
who likes food and rock climbing. A much more compatible match for a girl who previously struggled to maintain a facade in a white-only world.
Her biggest takeaway is that failure to conform led to authentic happiness.
But we have to return to her final strategic move, signing that confidentiality contract.
Yeah, granting Svetlana a clean slate, a new name, Ilana Bravia Slutskia, in brown hair, in exchange for 10 years of free merchandise and American Boris. She made a strategic trade.
She had immense power in her hands. She had video, first-hand knowledge of Svetlana's second public breakdown and the assault on JT.
She could have destroyed Svetlana's career entirely, leaked the story to the Daily Grind or Nike.
But she chose not to. She traded that momentary gratification of total public vengeance, which would have just meant more drama, more chaos, for long-term comfort, security, and a very cute cat.
She recognized that holding the secret, keeping the leverage, and securing a long-term benefit was more valuable than instantaneous chaos.
Which raises a really powerful, provocative question for us to consider as we close this deep dive.
Yeah.
When facing an opponent, Dylan learned that she could inflict pain, but she also learned the value of non-action. She chose strategic silence and transaction over total destruction.
So, is knowledge truly power only when you choose not to use it? Maintaining a strategic silence that benefits you far more than the chaos of public exposure.
That final moment of restraint, turning blackmail leverage into a mutually beneficial contract.
That is the mark of a true long-term alpha.
A perfect end to a deeply fraught summer scheme of transformation, performance, and ultimate vindication through authenticity.